Hey guys, it's Mark. Thanks for watching. This is training sessions part 2. And last video was training sessions part 1, where we talked about ministry and how we all should be having some type of ministry based upon the gifts that God has given us. And all of that can be done only when we're together and only when we're walking and following Jesus together. So that's what I want to talk about today on this video, guys. What does it mean to follow Jesus? Today, following somebody means, I'm going to follow them on social media. And maybe if I follow this person, they will make me comfortable. They will make me rich. They will make me popular. But that's the opposite of what Jesus says when he says, follow me. We are supposed to pick up our cross daily and follow him. And this cross is an instrument of pain and torture, and ultimately it leads to death. So are we willing to do that? Are we willing to pick up our cross and follow after this man who was murdered on a cross? In Hebrews, it talks about Jesus having this joy set before him while he endured the cross. See, he wasn't just looking at the sacrifice, but he was looking at the outcome of his sacrifice. And that's what we got to do today when we want to follow Jesus. We don't just look at the pain and the sorrow. Yeah, of course, we got to count the cost. We got to look at that. But we also got to look to the greater outcome. Jesus says that there's two roads. One leads to destruction, and that is broad. The other one is narrow, and that leads to everlasting life. So if we want to follow after Jesus, we don't go down the road that everybody's going. And you know what? Jesus says that they're going to hate us if we follow after him, just like they hated him. And they still hate him today. People still talk bad about him. But the fact is that they hated Jesus first, so they're going to hate us. They persecuted Jesus. They spat in his face. They pulled the beard out of him. But there's a joy that is set before us that is greater than all of that persecution or pain or sorrow or hardship or discipline that we're going to face. And we have to keep our eyes fixed on Jesus, who is the author and perfecter of our faith. And he gives us promises, and the Lord is faithful to his promises. And I know there's something great planned for those who press forward in faith and grace and mercy. And I know sometimes we don't act like it. We don't act like ambassadors of grace and mercy, and we still make mistakes. But somebody once told me, what's the difference between a saint and a sinner? A saint gets back up after he has fallen. And that's what we're supposed to do, guys. We continue to grow. We continue to get back up. Although we fall, we get back up. The opposite is we just continue to fall and we never get back up. And we need the Spirit of God to empower us to walk this life, to live this life, to run the race, so that when we see Jesus face to face, he will tell us, enter into my kingdom, good and faithful servant. There's so much more I could talk about, guys. We'll talk about in the next video, but that's some things that you got to reflect on, some things you got to think about. It's not going to be all happiness and money and fame and just easy, comfortable life. It's going to be hard. But if you continue in faith with a mind set on Christ and set on the hope of heaven and the fact that he loves you and he will show you kindness and that he's experienced all of that pain already and he's going to help you through it, then we know that we can overcome. We can overcome this life, guys, and we can have the hope of eternity in our hearts until we see him on that day.